Good morning and welcome back to the homestead. So we're back on the Apocalypse truck. Today what we're going to try to do is get the front end tore apart, make sure that we don't need any wheel bearings or anything before we go to town, and we're going to get our ball joints changed. We're going to deal with some tie rod end issues, some drag link issues, and just see if we can get the steering and the suspension buttoned up on the front end. We did order the sway bar bushings, so we'll put that back in when they come in. And we will address the brake lines probably in an upcoming video. So we're going to go ahead and start tearing into this. One of the things I'm going to do is take this whole assembly apart. So we're going to start by taking the brake caliper off, then we'll take the hub apart, we'll take the rotor off. So we're probably going to fast forward and just let you watch us work. Maybe when we put it back together, we'll show you how some of the things like the hub goes together. All right, so as you can see, we're down to the, or maybe you can't see because I turned the light off, but we're down to the bare front end, and we got our drag link off. That's a little trick that Maynard taught me years ago. If you drive a little screwdriver down into that crack in the wedge right there, and then you tap on the thing while you just put a little upward pressure on the screwdriver, that comb will come right out of there. Many people try to grab them with vice grips and turn them, but when you grab them, it tightens up. So when you drive the screwdriver down in there, of course, it loosens it. So we have to change that with the one that you saw that's made for the 4-inch lift. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get over here, and we're going to get these ball joints out of this. New ball joints pressed in. Now we're going to start the reassembly process. Of course, we will put a lot of never sees and stuff on here. We'll clean this up real well. You saw how hard that was to get that spindle off there. If we clean this all up, clean the spindle all up, put some never sees on there, if and when we have to get in there again, it's going to come apart really easy. And then on this, you'll notice that there's a ball joint here that presses down out. There's a ball joint here that we have to take the snap ring and press it down out. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. We'll try to set you up here somewhere where you can watch. I know the battery's getting a little low. So yeah, we'll see if we can't get this apart before we wrap this video up. So hold on a second while I see if I can find you a place where you can hang out and watch. I think maybe right here. Let's try that. I think that will work. So there's multiple ways to do this. I'm going to try to do it this way so you guys can see what we're doing. All my goal is here with the vise is just to hold it. I'm in hopes that my ball joint press does the rest of the work. You can also see in the Anita flat space. Because I got you set up here where you can see, makes it a little harder for me to see where the snap ring is here, but that's okay. See what I'm going to do? I'm going to take you out of the vise for a minute so I can see. Then I'll bring you back. How's that? And I'm in desperate need of a better set of snap ring pliers. I know that. We're not reusing this. And then I'm going to take, we'll do it that way. So on the ball joint press, what we're looking to do, this ball joint has to go down. So we're looking for a ring that fits over the ball joint. That one seems to. I'm going to clean all the trash out of there. And normally I would have this a little bit better set up in the vise, but because I'm trying to let you guys watch, I'm trying to make sure I point it in the right direction. Which, as you can see, that works much better than a hammer. And as you can also see, that ball joint was, well, this is the one that's bad, sorry. This one was actually still good, but, you know, we're right here. It would be rather foolish not to continue on. Now this one comes out the same way. So we have that same grease fitting in there to contend with. And I guess I'm just gonna have to disturb you guys. You guys are on top of my chisel drawer. That's why I'm trying to do that the hard way. Let's do this the easy way. Now we'll pull you back out so you can see. How's that? Now we got the same thing. This ball joint press wants to go in here like this now, because we're pressing out this way. And we want to find the one that just fits. That one doesn't. So we are back to this one. And we get this thing here. And then we're going to get our socket back on there. And we're going to give her a little hugga-dugga. So that was the ball joint that we were worried about. Let me tip you up a little bit here. So this is the ball joint we're after. You can see how loose that is. So that's garbage. So we're at the point now where we're ready to go back together. We've looked at our front rotor, looked at our bearings. The bearings look good. The grease looks pretty nasty, so we're probably going to wash it all out and change the grease and probably change this seal. And then inside here is what they call, I think it's the SK1 bearing, and that looks great. So the only thing we have to do is on the other piece, which is, it's on the axle still. Let me grab that. So on the axle, you have these two seals. You see how this one's all broken and cracked? So we'll change that. There's that little one right there. That one looks good. And these are just dust shields. That's all their goal is to keep the dust and out, dirt and mud and stuff out of there. So we'll change those. We'll change the U-joint, and we'll start putting this thing back together. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this video up, just because I feel like we've probably kept you long enough. And we'll come back. And here's that steering arm. So I wanted to show you that too. Let me grab the other one real quick. So they both go on the truck the same way. This way is down. So you'll see how that one is 4 inches taller. That's going to take the angle out of that drag link as we put it back together. And the drag link is pretty loose too. It didn't have any play in it, but it's loose enough and they're cheap enough. We're going to pick up a whole new drag link assembly on our way back together. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to come on back and watch us start putting this back together. That will be the fun part. And then we'll tackle the other side. The other side doesn't need any ball joints, but we do want to check the bearings. So don't forget to like and subscribe.